Ding, ding. Welcome to the show. Fight fans. How y'all doing? Von Klug's out in the chat. We've been looking at images from Von Klug's Winter Wonderland fan art contest. We got so many great submissions. So much great stuff in there. I think one of the biggest benefits from this contest is discovering TM Dutchy, who made all of those awesome fighter jets with the Kotu.org and Sunday Night Fight logos on them. I love those. His stuff is so cool. He is now a staff artist. He has done some highlights recently. You might have noticed that he did the highlight for the Elite Armor Guide that's on the front page of our portal. And we got some more stuff coming soon. We got a Mechanized Assault Guide coming. We got a Kolodny Fermer Winter Guide by the King Jezelin coming. So we got all sorts of good stuff. I'm back. I'm Ami Polizei-Funk. You can see me. Follow me on Twitter right there. I'm back to bring you some games from the auto match that are happening right now in-game in Company of Heroes, because that's how we do. We like to see the competition. The top game on the list right now is a game between a guy called Jove. He'll be playing the Okave, and his opponent will be Fancy, who's playing the USF. So we get right in there. My overlay is set. Let's go in game and see how they play. All right. They're off. So let's get that Fog of War off.
I got orders coming.
In the bottom, in the left portion of Kolodny Ferma Summer, this wonderful map, which already has a great guide by Jezelin. If you look in our beginner guides on Kotu.org, you will find every detail you need to know about this map. So playing out of the west in the blue trunks as the USF, that's going to be Fancy. And his opponent will be in the east. That's Okave. Here are his Sturmpioniere. He'll be in the red trunks. See the Schwer Wehrmacht Schlepper coming out, destroying some of the nice flowers that populate Kolodny Ferma. And he is Jove. Jove. Now, I don't know these two players very well, Jove and Fancy, but we're going to get to know them right here and now. So thanks for joining me, everybody, on this Saturday morning. I've got a few hours that I can stream before my son arrives. This was fun yesterday, so I figured I'd do it again, and now I have a better intermission collection. We can look at all those great fan art splash screens, and I can run away and do other stuff in between games. Okay, the first fight is occurring for this house outside of Fancy's base, and those Sturmpioniere found great green cover behind the stone wall, and they're going to beat the rear echelon troops out of the house. But we see an interesting early build. We see this WC-1 military truck. I think it's called Willie. That's a Willie Jeep. And this is a special commander unit. You can see right here, this is from the Mechanized Company. And this Willie military truck is a early build from Fancy. So that's something different. That's something cool. I don't know if I've ever cast a game where we saw this little guy involved, but this is a unit that I used in the Ardennes Assault campaign, which I just completed about a week ago. Had a lot of fun. You can see the rifles are loaded up in there. And they're going to be mobile, and it's nice to see the American Jeep back in this kind of form. In Co-1, we had, of course, the standard Jeep. That's a very popular, loved World War II unit. And in Co-2 now we have the Willys military truck. And what's he going to try to do? He's going for Jove's cutoff point. He's going to try to take that fuel away. You can see on the mini-map that this point connects the southern resources, fuel, strap point, this ammo that Jove is currently trying to raise. But so he's going to keep capping instead of go to fight this guy. But now the Jeep's going to come find him. Fog of War, true sight, surprise. There's dudes hiding there behind the bush. Who's going to win this fight? This is Okave. They don't have any Faust, so they are getting owned by these rifles in this Jeep. And they're going to have to retreat. Rear echelon are coming back. You can see they've been heavily damaged by those Sturmpionieras. They haven't lost a member of the squad yet. Jeep's going to rove around a bit. We can see Jove has his Sturmpionier still keeping track of this house. They put down shoe mine. So we'll have to see if we can keep an eye on that. Oh, wow. Real smart by the Jeep. Don't know if he saw that mine going down, but he seemed to know it was there as he goes danger close. Well, maybe he didn't see it putting down or he wouldn't walk over it. Bam! 3 rifles dead. Pionera saying, ha, got you. And look at this. The quick pooption comes out and, whoa, I think it's abandoned. It right? Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to see it re-garrisoned because the pooption attacked ground and destroyed it. So that Jeep is dead. It didn't last very long. 4 minutes in, it's a goner. So what else do we have from this this faction? I don't own this one. This is one of the additional companies for USF, mechanized. After the Jeep, we have this passive withdraw, which is so strange that you can like retreat a vehicle off the field. That's such a weird ability. We have the M3 half-track assault group. We might see them. And later, recon sweep and 155 millimeter artillery barrage. All right, Okave's got 3 Volks and that Pupshin. Rifles are going to garrison the Russian Orthodox Church. Map control is looking kind of 50-50. It's looking appropriate for this moment in the game with USF and Okave. Just checking the chat, seeing how you guys are doing. Looking for corrections. You know I love it when you correct me, and when I mess up and you correct me, I love that because then I learn and then I don't mess up again. So please do correct me if I call things the wrong things or say the wrong strategies, etc. Please always correct me. I like that. Don't worry about my ego. It's healthy. You can't harm my ego. You can be mean and correct me and call me a noob, and I don't even care, man. Go for it. Go for it. Because I'm sitting here and you're sitting there, so that's how it is. All right, the USF are doing well to hold this church, and that will allow them to hold the center VP. And Okave is having to crawl out slowly but surely. Okave has gone tier 3 first. This we like to call tier 1, although it's kind of tier 0 in that it's at your HQ. But since there are only 3 trucks that follow it, and we always like to have tanks coming out of what we call tier 4, we call this tier 1, that's the HQ, and we call this tier 3, which is the mechanized regiment headquarters. And so he skipped battle group, so he won't be able to heal his infantry very easily. But it does give him early access to vehicles, and we see the first one arriving to the field now. This is the Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251. It is the anti-aircraft half-track, and it is very good, not only against aircraft, but of course also against infantry. So here it comes, and there's a little tip for you guys if you don't know about this unit. He knows. He obviously knows. Look at this. You know, it has this setup time where the little flaps pop out, right? And I don't know what's up with Relic or how they intended this unit to be, but it's supposed to like set up, the flaps come out, and then it shoots, right? But as you just saw, it can shoot before setting up if you use attack move. So if he like attack moves to this point around the corner, it will shoot immediately before setting up. Okay, that time he didn't do it. See, that time it waits for the setup. So a pro tip to all of you that utilize this vehicle, always attack move it into a fight. And then you will bypass that setup time and you will immediately shoot at the enemy. Let's see if he does it this time. Okay, this time, okay, see it's kind of setting up while it's going. See that? And then it fires before the flaps even come down. And then the flaps come down. And then it resets. You know, it's a very, I don't know if it's unintended or what, but the key trick to remember is attack move with the AA half track. Bug or feature? We don't know. Type your opinion in the chat. It can set up on the move, okay, if that's the correct way you would like to, if you would like me to say it. It can set up on the move. Okay, that makes no sense. Something's wrong with it, you have to admit. You can call it whatever you like, but it shouldn't be able to quote-unquote set up on the move, because then what the hell is set up? Like, why even have it, right? It makes no sense. So there's something wrong with it, and you can term it however you want, but we have definitely noticed that it behaves strangely, however we want to say it, or however Peter wants to say it, or Relic wants to say it. So the important thing, though, all we care about is optimizing its usefulness, and so we care about using it to maximum efficiency. So we care about making sure that everybody knows how to attack move this vehicle and have it firing as soon as it arrives to wherever it is intending to go. Oh, lots of action happening. That Volk squad gets wiped. We see a nade here. Well, we didn't see it, but we heard it. This dude's doing look, this guy's got hover. Look, he's Marty. He's Marty on the hoverboard. You know that today is the day that Marty goes to in the future, right? When he has his hoverboard. Or it's not today, but it's very close to today. He arrived sometime in late December, and then, he's in early January 2015, Marty's flying around on the hoverboard. So we had our little hoverboard dude in homage to Back to the Future. All right, tit for tat, one AA half track is going to meet the other AA half track. So here we have the American version. This is the M15A1, and its main gun faces backwards. So often, pro tip on this vehicle is instead of going forwards into the fight, you actually reverse into enemy territory so that the main gun is instantly able to target enemy units. So we have pro tips for both AA half tracks. All right. Hey, you guys, that Twitch thing where you use @SundayNightFights and it lights up my name in black makes it really easy for me to recognize stuff that you're telling me. So if you really want me to see what you're saying, I only briefly look at chat every once in a while. Go ahead and use that @SundayNightFights. Then I notice exactly what you're making me aware of. So that is a good way to get my attention. Oh, we see the AA half track back into the pooption. Oh, look at all these Volks here, but none of them have a Shrek. Oh, but they get it anyway. It doesn't matter. And they're going to chase off this lieutenant and his bar, and they're going to try to reconnect. Pretty decent fight so far between Jove and Fancy. I think Fancy's got the upper hand, but often we see USF with a lot of early game map control, and we see Okabe struggling to stay in the game, struggling to keep their cutoff, keep their fuel. So this might not be as bad as it seems. We'll see how Jove can handle the pressure that's coming at him from all angles. These rifles are a bit hurt. They probably don't want to fight 13 Volks, guys. And if he's not careful, he's going to lose them. Okay, he retreats. Let's see, in time. Yes, they get around the hedgerow. They get around the hedgerow. It's a tongue twister. They're going to escape. And he likes these little fighting positions. His rear echelon are trying to build another one, but the Volks catch them doing it, and that will mean abort defensive operations. Jove's doing a good job. There's the attack move. We saw it in effect. So even though he's not set up at all now, and then they just flop out. Sometimes they have to reset up and flop out. Sometimes they just flop out immediately. All right, Fancy is lucky to save that rifle squad. He's gone 3 rifles. He went an extra rear echelon, then lieutenant, now ambulance. So he's playing a pure infantry game. Let's see. How do we quickly check if he's got upgrades? He doesn't have any rifle upgrades yet. So just spending his manpower building units. Looks like Jove's going to stabilize. He's capping along the bottom. He's got this fuel here. He's got this ammo here. So that's really all he needs to be comfortable. And he's pushing the AA to the right to lead the way. He wants this fighting position down. So he's gone past it, out of its cone of fire. Now he has to do the setups, slowly but surely. And look how quickly this Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251-17 destroys that fighting position. German numbers, right? Can we do it again just for fun? 251-17. Okay, I probably won't be doing that. We see some salvaging attempting to happen. This pooption in the church is kind of by itself. See, this is what happens. When Okabe spreads out, that's when they're vulnerable. So USF is taking advantage, attacking all over the place, and winning all sorts of skirmishes. Okabe really needs to consolidate, and if he's not careful, This Poopshin's going to get picked out of the church. He does get out in time. Will he retreat? I don't know. He doesn't have healing, so let's see. The next truck that's going down is Tier 4. This is the Schwer Panther headquarters, which of course gives him access to Obersoldaten, Lux, and later on Panther, and if he should so choose, the Sturmtiger. We have a captain out. They've got a Zook, so we're getting the just complete infantry selection. We also have an AT gun from Fancy. And so that was unlocked once he got his lieutenant out. That comes from the Tier 3 company command post. So Fancy seems totally prepared for anything that might come his way. And I think maybe Jove got a little greedy trying to cap all over the place instead of just slow pushing the left. You know, he made a lot of progress on the left. He had the ammo, he had the fuel to VP, and then he decided to push right, middle, everywhere, and he just lost all the skirmishes, and his map control just crumbled. So I would recommend to Jove next time to just like slow push the left. You know, it's a bummer that OKV is kind of a turtle faction, and there's not much you can do about it. They're really weak when they try to spread out and flank and harass. The AA half-track is in danger of going down, but he manages to suppress the Zook squad. Here comes the AA. Oh, the anti-tank, the 57mm. He could get a long-distance shot off. This thing is in great danger. It's double that. Oh, and wow, that was fortunate. First shot of the 57 goes into the sandbags.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
What got lost?
What? Fighting position.
I'm missing stuff. USF is losing dudes. I don't know where.
God damn it!
Did I miss a nade over here? These dudes got destroyed. The fighting position was taken out, maybe. Okay. All right, we got to keep track. Action's getting exciting. We got Obersoldaten out, and that's just what the doctor ordered as far as dealing with this infantry. But wow, they have to retreat already. What happened? Were they about to be naded or something? I don't know. I missed that. The Obersoldaten had to run away. They got suppressed somehow. He doesn't have nades, so I don't know how they got suppressed so easily. What happened? Oh, here we go. This is what got them. They walked right into this fighting position, which has been upgraded with an MG. So that nest suppressed them. They had to go home. But now we see Jove doing what I recommended he do, and that is slow push the left. Just kind of try to hold the right. That's what these dudes are doing. All right, this battle group headquarters is up. He can afford a Lux if he so chooses, but since he hasn't purchased this yet, I don't know if he's going to get it. He got a second Obersoldaten squad, so he's got a lot of badass anti-infantry, and they're coming up through the center now. The action's happening in the south. The AA is going to go deal with that. Let's see how the Obersoldaten fare. They're coming up behind the church. These dudes are wicked. If you just sit them in cover, let them fire at long range. Look at when they're just still and firing at long range. Look at the health on this rifle squad. Down it goes. They might annihilate the squad. It's double vet. That would be a nice kill. Now on the run, they're much less effective, so they're not that great at chasing stuff down. Uh-oh, what do we have here? Here comes the first end tree ability. It's the artillery barrage. Oh, the Obersoldaten get in the church, and that doesn't that suck? Hasn't that happened to you a million times where you maybe accidentally get in a building and you can't cancel the order in time, and they're forced to like finish your order of getting in, and then you got to get them out, and they like really never wanted to be in that building in the first place. I think that might have occurred, but we did see the church come down. Look at the beautiful animation on this church. They really did a wonderful job modeling every stage of the destruction of that church. That's the same one that we find on Samoski, so we see it often in top 1v1 games. Once again, we got this slow creep happening at the bottom, and that's exactly what Jove needs to do. He's got some Shrek'd up Volksgrenadier. They should be able to easily destroy that fighting position. And let's see, he's going to move the AA half-track a bit forward. Here come all the reinforcements. Oh wow! They changed their mind. Where are they going? I don't know. They seem to not want to be involved in this. We got artillery coming in. Jove's gonna move forwards. Balls out. He's gonna move forwards to avoid the artillery. Okay, he succeeds in destroying the fighting position. The Sturmtiger really should retreat, and they do. And now he's in green cover. USF's gonna try to chase. He wants to kill the Sturmtiger. He succeeds. They fall, and now all these Volks are in a bit of danger as the entire USF force is in the middle But they don't care because they're in green cover and they have support only if he can get the Obersoldaten back on the field. Here they come. This could be really, really bad for USF. These guys were able to just stay in the fight. Now that the Obers are here, and look at this, they catch the USF player moving from cover to cover. Oh, man. Good. Whoa, what a shot. What was that, a Zook that killed both of those dudes as they were trying to retreat? Good grief. I mean, I'm not going to complain about a squad wipe there because, you know, Jove left those dudes in a very vulnerable position for a hell of a long time. Yes, he got an unlucky RNG break. He tried to retreat them, but they got killed. But, hey, if you're going to wait that long before you retreat, I don't mind if the game makes you pay. You can only blame yourself for losing that squad. So his Shrek'd up Grens are dead. He does have another Shrek'd up Gren squad, though. But look at, you can see when his infantry are coming back, you know, it's a 5-man squad, but only 50% health. He's really missing that battle group headquarters. And I wonder if he'll ever backtech it, you know, at some point because he really needs the heals, particularly since his force is so infantry-based. He's got these 2 Obersoldaten squads, and they all really need healing. So he's missing the battle group. We'll see if he eventually brings it in. But now he's got even more to contend with in the form of this Sherman. The M4A3 Sherman hits the field, and that is just what he needed to kill off these rascally Obersoldaten. Now this thing can come in and plow down Volksgrenadiers if he gets in close. Whoa, his first shot kills 2 of them. These are what you would call a soft counter to a Sherman. You know, they can do some damage, but one Shrek'd up Volk squad cannot handle a Sherman. The Sherman will win that fight one-on-one with a little bit of micro. USF is pushing the bottom of the map. It's been very difficult for Jove to harass the top of the map. Finally, battle group headquarters is here, and it's in a very forward position. It's going to allow OKV to heal his troops at the front line and reinforce them. So this is going to be dangerous, though. What if Fancy gets off an artillery barrage right here? Could you imagine? That would be so painful. And I wonder if he's going to make it a retreat point. I don't think he should. He could always toggle it, of course. You know, he could always retreat to it or the HQ. But I don't know. That might be difficult. And, you know, that's a lot of manpower. He's probably saving, let's see, we're about 141 fuel. He never wanted a looks. So we can only assume that he's trying to save for Panther. Now, this AA half-track has had a long and storied career. He's got 13 kills and double vet. I really like that unit. Let's see how long Jove can keep it alive. I guess with the Poopshin and the Shrek, he's managed to push the Sherman back. The Sherman works its way around. It loves killing Obersoldaten. That's its favorite thing to do. As a USF player, if you can prevent any kind of Obersoldaten harassment with your Sherman, then that's just a hard counter win for you. So you always want to look for that matchup. But man, look at USF. They're having to backpedal into their base. The AA, he doesn't really need. Jove's pushing hard through the middle, but he's really, whoa. Okay. That was an anti-tank grenade, I guess, from the rifles. Did a lot of damage. There are more rifles there, and we have the zooked up captain squad. He could finish off the AA half-track. He succeeds. That's a nice kill. It's a very nice kill. I like that unit a lot. But here's the really big, important fight. The OKV pushing really far forward. This house is on very low health. Oh, my God. If he loses 4 vet Shrek'd up Grens in this house. Get out, man. Yes, that's smart. He gets out in time. Here comes the dreaded OKV blob. He's got Obersoldaten's 2 Shrek squads. They are filthy nasty and hard to contend with. Will they pick off this retreating captain? No, they will not. But, man, this is a force to be reckoned with. Now both Obersoldatens are there. And the USF player, man, he's got the artillery unlocked, but he's going to have to use it at a very opportune moment. This push could get nasty if he caps this middle point and starts cutting off the wings. USF's still getting lots of resources, but he's starting to lose all these side skirmishes, although he won that one there. So USF retaining this wraparound, but how long will it last before Jove moves out and starts capping? We're healing all the USF dudes. You know, Fancy's been kind of leading this whole match. At least it felt like it. And now it's feeling a lot different. Now I think they're about on even footing. I'm not sure. The OKV is still a bit resource starved. They don't have the fuel coming in, so it's still going to be a while before we see Panther. You can see, let's see if we make sure our HQ is on OKV. You can see the Panther is 175 fuel, and he just spent it all. So it's on the way. Here comes the Panther. That's going to make a big difference in this fight. Panthers are good against all sorts of stuff. It's just a great all-around unit. There's a fortunate squad wipe. Retreating Obers get punished by the Sherman. They kill that squad. That's got to make you pound your mouse into the table as the OKV player. Squad wipes, frustrating co-players left and right. That's going to be our theme for this week's stream. We would like Relic to address the squad wipe issue. It occurs all over the game. It's not any one particular unit. It's all over the place. And it needs some love and care from Relic Balance.
Ready, set.
I mean, I love XP flowers as much as the next guy, but if they happen constantly, they're not that great. They're just annoying. But if they're rare and really wonderful, and if they happen because somebody did something incredibly skillful, then that's the best. Then XP flowers are fantastic, and we love them. And we celebrate them, and we go woohoo and scream and shout. But if they happen, if they're a dime a dozen, and they just happen too often, then, we're kind of like, oh, man, instead of yoo-hoo. So here the Panther's on the field. He's coming out. He's got vehicle priority on. The Sherman's got a backpedal. A lot of imp there. Oh, man, the Panther's hungry. When that OKV player finally gets the Panther, he's just gung-ho with it. Okay, it's taking nades from the rifles, and it does suffer an engine crit. That's an engine damage. But the Sherman is down. He walks into this Shrek blob. So that's a big win for OKV. And now that the Panther's out and the Sherman's down, we're seeing, look at the map now. We're seeing a lot of blue, right? I think that's going to change pretty quickly as OKV seems to be overcoming in strength. Now Jove is down to 97 victory points. So we do have to keep in mind, anytime you're in double digit, you are at risk of being bled out. So let's see. Jove's going to try to stop that now. He's tapping the top VP. USF trying to pick on these Shreks. They would love to kill a Shrek squad and perhaps capture a Shrek. These dudes have been tasked with slowing that drain down. And look at, Jove's kind of beat up. Look at his infantry. They're real beat up. And he knows, look, he's so desperate for VP, he just bypasses this ammo point entirely. He's going to send this understrength Obersoldaten squad over there to try to stop the drain. And look at the pressure. The USF wants to keep that drain going. Wants to keep the pressure on. He's going to recap the center VP. He's got a Jackson out now. The Panther's back. He can get repairs for free off of the mechanized truck. He's tipped up to full health. And now this Jackson. This could be a funny fight. I don't know how long. The Jackson's going to try to mow those pioneers. He's going to try to mow them down. That's his most effective way of killing infantry, is with his treads. Pushes them out of the capping circle. That's something. All right, the Pupshin's there. Rear echelon there. The Panther's on his way. Yeah, these VP, this capping struggle right now is really crucial. OKV stopped the drain in 94. Whoa, you don't want to show him your rear end. You got to back out of that fight, my friend. Always show him your front armor. A little micro mistake. A unit lost where? I don't know. I'm watching this fight. The Panther's chasing the Jackson. The AT gun, he gets into a position to maybe get one shot off. Isn't able to pop armor piercing. The Panther just flies by it. Says, give me that 975 XP as I kill your Jackson, and now my job's done. Now let me just, roll through your infantry. He's probably going to take some nades here, but maybe they threw it and it bounced. I can't see their cooldown when they're retreating, but no engine crit. And these guys are running into a lot of firepower, particularly Obersoldaten, sitting there in yellow cover. And I guess Fancy realizes that's that. You can't lose a Sherman, lose a Jackson, and allow OKV to stay in the game and get shreked up with like quintuple vet Volksgrenadiers and expect to have any chance. And even though he was ahead 410 VP to 94, he knows that his days are numbered, and that's that. So Fancy resigns. Our Okave player is the winner. Nice comeback from Jove. It looked bleak for a while, but he hung in there and got the job done. All right, good game, guys. I'm going to go back to that great fan art from Von Klug's Winter Wonderland fan art contest and take a little break for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and do the next live game for your information. Paradox F. Yeah, these are live games. They're happening right now in Kotu Auto Match. We're going to do top games from the 1v1 ladder. If you want to be on my channel and you're a good player, get in there and play, because I will be happy to feature you. Okay, any other things in the chat to take care of? No, you guys are talking about hardware. Okay, all right, we'll be right back. Enjoy the fan art.